Mira pressed the back of her hand to her forehead and winced. The ache was back, persistent, sharper than yesterday, radiating from deep within, making every step a reminder that something wasn't right. She lay curled on her side on her bed, the dull glow of her phone screen lighting her worried face. She'd already searched her symptoms online twice, and the terrifying words were burned into her mind. Infection, abscess, procedure. Words she didn't want to see. The ache wasn't just physical, it was embarrassment, shame, fear. The thought of sitting in a sterile hospital room and having to say those words out loud made her cheeks burn. She'd never even had a boyfriend. How could she explain this? The apartment was quiet. Her roommates were out, probably drinking or laughing over board games. Mira had told them she wasn't feeling well, waved them off with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. She hadn't told them the truth. She couldn't. She pulled her long cardigan tighter around her and opened the rideshare app. Her fingers trembled as she booked a ride to the hospital. 15 minutes later, she sat in the back of a rideshare, legs pressed together, arms folded tightly. The driver was silent, thank God, but the radio murmured quietly. The scent of artificial vanilla filled the car, mixing unpleasantly with her nausea. Her hands twisted in her lap, her face pale and drawn. The hospital's automatic doors hissed. Open, Mira stepped inside, wincing slightly. The ER waiting room had the usual late-night stillness. People slumped in chairs, quiet murmurs, an occasional burst of sobbing or a nurse calling a name. She shuffled to the reception desk. Name? The nurse asked, fingers tapping at her keyboard. Mira, she whispered. Last name? She gave it quietly, barely above a breath. The nurse looked up. Reason for visit? Mira opened her mouth, but the words stuck. Her throat felt tight. Her hands clenched. It's an intimate issue, she finally managed, her voice a hushed breath. Pain, down there. The nurse didn't flinch. She offered a gentle nod. Okay, honey. We'll get you in as soon as we can. Take a seat. If the pain gets worse, let us know. Mira nodded and turned away, heart pounding. She found a chair near the corner, tucked between a sleepy man and a woman cradling a toddler. She sat gingerly, knees together, her cardigan draped like armor. She kept her eyes on the floor. She didn't see the man watching her. Dr. Nicholas Vance stood at the far end of the nurse's station, flipping through a patient chart. He looked every bit the golden boy. Tall, clean-shaven, except for the carefully neglected stubble, eyes alert but tired, a man who'd been working too many shifts, but still moved like he meant it. He hadn't planned to be here tonight. His shift had technically ended hours ago, but lately he found excuses to stay. His eyes drifted to the waiting area. He scanned the patients idly. Then his gaze caught on her. She was small, curled in on herself, hair loose and wild around her face. She didn't look up. Something about her posture, tense, embarrassed, almost apologetic, made him look again. He didn't know why, but he did. Room 3, Dr. Vance, the nurse called, handing him a fresh chart. He scanned it. Female, early 20s, vaginal pain, possible infection. The name read, Mira Sharma. He glanced toward the waiting room. She was still sitting there. Room 3 was dimly lit, the same sterile beige as every other ER room. The crinkling paper on the exam table crackled under Mira as she sat, knees pressed together, back stiff. Her hands were clenched in her lap. She'd changed into the hospital gown reluctantly, folding her clothes with excessive care and placing them on the chair. She felt exposed in every way, cold despite the warm air. The door creaked open. She turned her head. Dr. Vance stepped in, reading from her chart. When he looked up, their eyes met for the first time. "Hi, Mira," he said. His voice was calm, warm. "I'm Dr. Vance. I understand you're experiencing some discomfort." Mira nodded barely. Her eyes dropped again. He sat on the stool, careful to keep his posture relaxed. non-threatening. "We'll take this one step at a time. You're safe here. I know it's uncomfortable, but I promise I'll be as quick and gentle as possible." "And good?" She nodded again. Her voice barely made it out. "Yes." He talked her through everything, what he was going to check, why. He explained the procedure gently, not assuming she knew anything, but not speaking down to her either. When the exam started, he noticed the tension in her jaw, the way her knuckles were white from gripping the edge of the table. "You're doing great," he said softly. "Almost done." She didn't say anything. When it was over, he turned away, peeled off his gloves and washed his hands. "It looks like a Bartholin cyst," he explained as he sat back down, facing her. "It's nothing dangerous, but it's infected, and that's why you're in so much pain. We'll need to drain it. I can do that tonight, right here." She looked down at her hands. "Is it a big procedure?" "Simple. You'll be awake, and we'll use a local anesthetic. It might be uncomfortable, but you'll feel a lot better afterward." She nodded again. "Okay, I'll take care of you," he said. Her eyes met his again, for a second, then dropped. But something in her expression softened. After the procedure, she lay on the bed, blinking at the fluorescent lights. A light blanket covered her legs. The pain was dulled now, replaced by a tender soreness, but it was better. Definitely better. Dr. Vance pulled a chair beside her bed. He looked different when he wasn't working, less sharp, more human. "I know that wasn't easy," he said, gently, "but you did really well." "I was scared," she said quietly. "Most people are," he replied, "especially with something like this. I always feel like I'm overreacting, like maybe I'm wasting your time. You're not. You're allowed to need help." She let that sit. "You're kind. I thought doctors like you would be—" She paused. "Colder. Or too busy to notice someone like me." He smiled faintly. "People like me?" She flushed. "I mean, you're young. And confident. And rich?" he offered, teasing. She blinked. "Are you?" He shrugged. "Technically, my family's rich. I also own part of this hospital, but I still like doing the work. You don't seem like someone who'd be here at midnight draining that." He chuckled. "Fair point. Why are you here?" she asked. "Really?" His smile faded a little. "Because it feels real. The rest of it, money, status, it's empty. But this, helping someone who's scared, that's real." She stared at him. "Is this the real you?" His eyes met hers. Something flickered behind them. "I think so." The next morning she was groggy but better. She'd taken her meds, had tea, curled on the couch. Her phone buzzed with a new number. "Dr. Vance. Hi, this is Dr. Vance. You left your hair tie in room 3. I figured it was important." She stared at the message, heart skipping. She hadn't expected that. She replied before she could second guess. "Thank you. I have like 30 more, though." His reply came quickly. "Well, now I'm offended. I thought it was special." She smiled, warm and stunned. They started texting slowly, a few messages a day, then more. Conversations about favorite books, about the best kind of tea, about music. He asked what she did. She told him she baked part-time and shelved books. At a library, he told her he played piano badly and once almost dropped out of med school. She told him she was homeschooled, painfully shy, never kissed anyone. He said he grew up around fake people and found honesty refreshing. "You're not." "Unnoticed," he wrote one night. "I noticed you the second I saw you." That message stayed in her heart for days. 2 weeks later, he asked if she wanted to get coffee. She almost said no. She hovered over the keyboard, her heart pounding. But then she said yes. They met at a quiet cafe, nothing fancy. He wore jeans and a sweater. She wore her favorite grey scarf. "You look nice," he said, as he sat across from her. She smiled. "I almost didn't come." "I'm glad you did." They talked for hours. About life. About fears, about art. He asked to see her drawings. She showed him photos on her phone. Soft, detailed sketches of people's expressions, quiet moments. "These are incredible," he said. "Why aren't these in a gallery?" "Who would want them?" "I would." She looked at him, blinking. "I." "Said who, not what," she added. He laughed. "Okay, you got me. They didn't kiss that night." But when they did, a month later, it was on the rooftop of a parking garage after a movie. They sat on the hood of his car, wind blowing. He leaned in. She froze. "Too soon?" he asked. "No," she whispered. It was soft, sweet, scary. Everything. At once. But secrets don't stay quiet forever. A photo appeared online. Him and Mira in a bakery, smiling. Her face half-turned. The headlines swarmed. Who is Dr. Vance's mystery girl, baker, librarian, gold digger? She didn't read them all, but she read enough. She stopped replying to his texts. She told herself it was for his sake. He showed up at her bakery. She was icing cupcakes. She froze when she saw him. "I thought shy girls didn't ghost people," he said softly. "I'm not ghosting," she whispered. "I'm retreating. From me. From that. From cameras. From whispers." He stepped closer. "I don't care what they say." "I do," she whispered. "I don't belong in your world. You belong wherever you want to be. I just want to be where you are." Her eyes filled. "I'm scared," she said. "Me too," he said. "But I'm still here." She kissed him, flower on her cheek, tears in her eyes. 6 months later, she went to the ER to deliver cupcakes. Room 3 was empty. He was waiting there, smiling. He held a small box. "Full circle," he said. She gasped. The rings sparkled under the fluorescent lights. She didn't hesitate. She leaped into his arms. At their wedding, he said only one thing to the press: "She taught me how to be real." And Mira,